This is the Peru Parks Board meeting, July 11th in the City Hall Council Chambers. Roll call. Carson, his boss, had a medical emergency with his family, and he had to step in at 4 o'clock to run his boss's presentation. So he may not be here. And Dave Hoover emailed me this morning to say that he's unable to attend tonight's meeting either. But we have 3, so we have a quorum, thank goodness, and we're going to take care of it. So roll call. I have started my phone to record the minutes so that I can take care of it later. Roll call. Present. Paul. Joe.
Green.
Josh.
I'm here.
So 3 people are here of 5. We therefore have a quorum, and we will continue with the meeting. Approval of the May minutes. Does anyone have any questions on the May minutes? We didn't do them last month because Carson had a blown tire on the highway and was unable to get here with his bag.
I'll make a motion to accept them as written.
We have a motion to accept the May minutes as written by Joe. Second?
I'll second that.
Josh seconds. Call the roll. Paul, yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously. June minutes. Anyone have any questions regarding that?
No.
I'll make a motion to accept the June minutes as written and presented. May we have a second?
I'll second that.
Joe, call the roll. Accept the minutes, yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Unanimous. All right. Announcements. I don't have any, but I do have something from the mayor that was just here. It says, Alison, my apologies for not being at the meeting tonight. I have attached some information regarding the establishment of the park board along with the IC code that speaks to the duties, responsibilities, and authority of the Parks Board. I feel that in the near future, you, Carson, and I should get together again and have more discussions about the importance of the Park Board. Just a few notes below. The contract for the irrigation system has been signed with the engineering company, and they will be sending our request for bids soon to construction companies. We are finalizing financing of the bond. New roofs for the clubhouse, middle cart barn, and storage building by Hole 3 should start next week or after next week. New garage doors have been installed on all cart barns and maintenance building. The new fence around the maintenance building will be installed in about 3 weeks. The new sign for the Muni has been ordered. It will be installed on the west side of the parking lot along Strawtown Pike. The new fence for the sand volleyball courts will be installed in 2 weeks. We have been told that the final signature for our splash pad should be near the end of September. That's from the mayor.
What final signature from what?
For the splash pad.
Oh, okay. I just didn't understand what he said.
I thought that was already good to go. They were just waiting on bids.
I think it's, from what I understood, there is, down the chain, the last signature has yet to be signed. So we've done like 99.5% of it, and there is this little person who still has to sign off on something. So there's nothing we can do, we just have to wait for it. Reports. Clubhouse. Jason.
All right. This month, I brought you guys a January 1 to July 1 overview of this year. And on the second page, you'll find January 1 to July 1, 2023.
Okay.
As you can see, we're about 4,000 to 5,000 above where we was last year, so that's a good sign. Everything seems to be moving in the right direction. Food and beverage went up. Only thing that went down that I can tell is the membership fees, which we had a few less members this season, but it hasn't affected the revenue yet.
I did talk with Gary today, and he said that the personnel at the clubhouse are doing a good job.
Yes.
That they are they know they have certain things that must be done, as in cleaning the carts, making sure things are in order.
Yep.
And he's pretty happy with that, as are you, I understand.
Good crew this year. It's enabled me to not spend as much time up there. So
He said that too.
Yep, so I've been able to get a lot of stuff checked off the to-do list from 2-3 years ago, so
Right.
it's been good.
Anyone have any other questions?
Did you guys hire a mechanic?
Not yet.
But you did get the okay to do that, though?
Not yet.
No?
Nope. I believe Cliff hired another assistant he's mechanically inclined, and he's been helping us out so far. I think he's been there a week.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So
Or is that the one that Gary said that you had hired
Yeah,
to
Heidi.
replace Heidi?
Heidi had left, yes.
We'll get to you later.
Yeah.
So you didn't promote within, you hired outsourced or whatever?
Yes, he actually worked for us for a season a couple of years ago.
Okay.
Well, it's good to see that the totals are, as you said, more.
And, you know, they've inched up the last 3 years, so, I mean, I think we're moving in the right direction.
Okay.
What do you account the membership fee difference?
Cost. I mean, we did raise the
Yeah.
rates.
Right.
Some people felt like they would spend less money paying, you know, per round. And, you know, with not knowing how, you know, where life's going to take you throughout the
Yeah.
summer. So, you know, it's
Right.
worked out for some of them.
Yeah. Okay.
And I don't blame them. But, you know, we also, where we used to only charge $15 for 9 holes for leagues, basically leagues are paying full price now. So I think that's kept us in the ballgame a little bit.
Any other questions?
Is it cheaper to play or to pay like for 9 holes as compared to buying a membership?
In years past, when Miles was in office, you know, he kind of left it up to me and Gary to figure out the totals. And basically, it wasn't rocket science. I basically called every golf course. I looked at the sheet. I had called like 9 golf courses, and I just averaged out the number. And I was like, I feel like that's where we should be. And it's worked. I mean, you know, when I first took over, you know, roughly 30% of the days were discounted for, you know, really no reason in particular. I don't know if they were just trying to garner business that way, you know,
Yeah.
lowering it down to such a rate. We've basically eliminated all discounted days. So it's basically $30 every day from 7 a.m. to 8 o'clock at night, which, you know, some of the higher end courses, they offer twilight rates, and
Yeah.
you know, they try to get you in the door. And I felt like, you know, just staying firm with the number would probably be our best bet, and it's proven to work so far. And a lot of the members would complain that, well, we pay X amount of dollars, and then you discount all these days. So if I would have knew you were going to discount it for 3 weeks, I wouldn't have got a membership. I would have just came and
Right.
paid your, so I thought that would end that, you know, a little bit of a situation there.
Yeah,
The memberships, I mean, golf is a older person sport, in my opinion, and we just lost a gentleman last night, Dick Kress. Yeah, great guy. You know, he's been there
yeah,
for
ever.
40 years probably. He's been a member there, and he passed away last night, and that seems to be occurring more and more and more. So with that being said, you know, for every member that we lose, you would hope to get another member in, but people coming up with 1,500 up front at the beginning of summer, right before spring break, and it's kind of tough on some guys, so.
Yeah.
Jason, have you ever figured out, I don't remember if you've told us this already, please forgive me, what the break-even point is for how many games one plays, how many rounds rather one plays as to being a member?
Right. Last year, I had it down to an exact number, and before you purchased your membership, I had it basically printed out to show you, like, is this going to be a good deal for you? I wanted it because they, you know, they were convinced that with the price, with us raising the price, that they were paying full price. Now, it just wasn't true. I believe it's around 80 rounds this year, 16. No, it's less than that. It's hard to really, without actually sitting down and doing it, because of the members' cards. It throws the numbers off. If they were just paying full price, if they didn't have their cart there, 80 rounds would be, you know, $2,400.
But essentially, the more they use that membership, the cheaper it is essentially.
And with our members, I don't know if it's like this with every other golf course, but with us having the personal carts there, I mean, them guys are getting in 100 rounds a year. So if you take that 1,500, divide it by 100, it's $15 a round, and you're not going to get that nowhere in Indiana.
And then opening up a whole space in their garage
Yeah.
and their carts up there, yeah, it makes sense.
So, I mean, and, you know, I forget how many days, I had the days tallied up. It was, you know, we open in February. If it's nice out, we'll be open. You know, March guaranteed we'll be open. And if it's nice, you know, in November on Thanksgiving, we're probably going to open the door. So them guys have a big window to use that membership. And a lot of other places, you know, you don't have a window that wide open. And you know, even if we're closed and it's cold out and you have a cart up there, you can go play. You know, we don't have to be there for that. So it's a good deal in my opinion still.
Yeah.
To the guys writing the check, not so much.
Well, it's been
Okay.
this price forever, and then it changes to something else, that you're always gonna get complaints.
Yeah, and I feel like it held at the $20 mark for way too long. 18 holes for $20, and we were never going to break even going that direction.
Yeah.
Right. Any other questions for Jason?
No.
All right. Moving on to golf course. Gary has, he will not be here this evening. He called me. We spoke at length on the phone. His daughter's all-star game from yesterday was canceled, so it's been rescheduled for today, and he missed it last year, so he has to go this year. His wife also had the meeting, so he will not be here, but we did send a report. And like I said, we talked at length. He is very pleased with the upgrades that have been made to the roofing and doors. The park is looking cared for. Has anyone been and looked at the new paving around the amphitheater?
Yeah.
It looks wonderful, just wonderful. It's all been repaved, striped. There's a new additional path that you can walk around. I guess it might have been the edge of the infield or something at one point, but it looks spectacular. It's a wonderful use of $110,000 of ARP money, and it's a real improvement. It makes the park look cared about. So he's pleased about that. They are getting extra things done. He told me that Jason and some others had cleaned out a ditch that, at one area that really improves the look of the course.
Hole 5.
Hole 5.
Hole 5, and then we've really been a lot of emphasis on the creek on 14 and 15. It had been neglected for a long, long time. So we've cleared the creek out, and we wondered how it would do with a heavy rain, and we found out. So, I mean, we found out, we got exactly what we were asking for, really. It didn't flood. It flowed very nicely through there. So now we have to continue on down the road there going to Arrowhead.
Now, I understand that you'd worked on some sort of drainage.
That's on 5. I mean, we dug that out, but we are starting to work on
Okay.
drainage in general.
These, the irrigation people who are going to design the course, irrigation system, have been in touch again, and they are almost ready to pick to finalize the new system, and then it will go out for bid. But he's doesn't think some of his equipment is going to make it through to next year. It's really on its last legs. And he has given the mayor this information, and it's going to be entirely up to the city council what monies they approve to purchase new equipment of some sort, because it's just not going to cut it, pun intended. So basically that's what he said. But this is his report. Would you like to read it?
As you all know, with the storm, a lot of cleaning up sticks, down trees, of course. We were running a little bit behind last week on mowing. We had a lot of mowers go down, but with Cliff's new hire, we've been able to get a few of those items back. And at one point today, I saw 5 or 6 people mowing, and that's the first time I've seen that in a long time. So that was nice to see. We did borrow a mower from the street department, so we definitely appreciate them and letting us borrow that. A lot of weed eating, a lot of neglected areas we've been trying to get to and keep more maintained than years past. A lot of areas that we were unable to get to last year is what he's referring to, I believe, as the filling in low areas with fill dirt. We've been trying to, instead of trucking the dirt out or moving the dirt twice, we've been trying to take it from one area and find a home for it. So we've been doing that quite a bit. We're in full swing, so we do have, this is our time of the year where we have employees, and so we try to utilize them to the best of our abilities. Cleaning the shop, organizing the shop. We've got a new lift installed. I don't know if he went over that last month.
I think you did.
The electricity that was hooked up to it actually was 110, and it was supposed to be 220. The electrician missed that, so we should be up and running with that at some point next week. A lot of spraying, trash pickup, of course, setting the course up, cutting holes, bunkers, and irrigation leaks. We had a big leak on 8, and we had another leak, a sprinkler head on the back. I forget what hole that was, but we got those taken care of, and I actually filled in hole 8, which had been exposed since last season. We finally got it fixed and got it filled in.
You guys are on a well, aren't you?
Well at the clubhouse, well at the shop, city water on the course. So, strange, but that's what it is. Hand watering. This is something that I really begged Gary a couple years ago just to hear me out and try it. And it's really been working wonders. I mean, it's a nightmare for the guy doing it, and it's thankless work. It's hot, and you're just standing there with a garden hose all day. But it really does make a big difference at the end of the day. When it's not raining, when we don't have the water, the out-of-towners let us know that it's working, because they're like, what are you doing different than what our courses are doing? And I'm like, well, we pay a guy to go stand out there with a garden hose all day. And so that's, it's pretty odd to see that, but I mean, it's been working. Just a lot of a lot of neglected areas of the courses really been trying to tackle this year. Stuff you can see from the road, stuff you can see from driving through the park. The mayor kind of pointed out some things to us, and you know, out of sight, out of mind, right? We have so much other stuff going on that you think, well, we never get around to it. But once you start getting to the items and seeing the improvements, you take it upon yourself just to keep going and find another area. So that's worked out really well. I'm pleased with the work the guys have been doing this year. Like you mentioned, we got all new garage doors on the maintenance, and going back to the age of the members, they don't have to lift the door anymore. They have garage door openers and pin pads, and that's stuff that I kind of promised them my first year I was here, and I didn't know exactly how I was going to do it, so I'm glad the mayor took care of that one for me. That all the members are pleased with that. The bathrooms, we've really been tackling the bathrooms, trying to keep those as clean as possible. Like you said, the roof should be next week, but normally when a guy tells me he's going to do my roof next week, I plan for 3 weeks from now. This is their busy season. Lots of outings are coming up. Unfortunately, this season we did lose a few outings. The Tom Tom, which is one of our longest running outings, we actually lost it. They've decided not to continue doing that one no more, so that was a little depressing, but we got some exciting ones coming up. I know we got the Fireman Scramble coming up. We have the Moose Scramble coming up the 21st. Lots of exciting stuff is still yet to come. We did have the OFL, that's their name for themselves, the Old Farts League. It's a lot of retired teachers from the area, great group of guys. John Schwartz, I don't know if you guys know him, he puts that one together, great guy. They were there the 14th and the 5th. The Circus City Open was a disc golf event that actually tied up the course for 2 days over a weekend, which is something we try not to do, but it was the 40th anniversary for the Circus City Open, which is a disc golf tournament. The attendance for that was amazing. I think there was 90 players this year, a little less than last year, but I think they charged a little tiny bit more than they did the year before. But there was also another tournament going on in the state somewhere. So that was good. It was a good revenue generator for the course. I mean, if you look back at the date, the previous year, that same weekend, if you kind of just base it off the revenue that we generated, the disc golf tournament was about $1,000 to the positive for that weekend. The Manicore was June 23rd. That was good. We also had the Little City Tour, which is a junior tour that makes golf a little bit more affordable than the other junior tours. That one's always fun. We have a little cookout for the kids, and it's not a real great revenue generator, but it really gets the youth involved, which, you know, with golf, I think it's not focused on enough. If you get the kids involved now, the memberships later will take care of themselves. If we don't get the children involved, there won't be anybody golfing in, 20, 30 years. So with that being said, like I said, it's not a big revenue generator, but it brings a lot of parents, a lot of kids, and it's a lot of fun. I think that's about all he's got. Let's see. You already went over the irrigation. The rest of it, he just put the trees from the storm. So just a lot of stuff, just mid-season stuff. Business as usual.
Any questions regarding the golf course?
No, not from me.
Did they give you a time schedule on the irrigation once they start it? Like, they say how long it would take?
There's no way for them to do that. I mean, at the end of the day, the hard part's going to be getting the contractor, I believe. From everybody I've talked to is, they're probably on a project already, and they probably have another project in the pipeline. So we're probably going to be a third burner for them. So I think they'll probably get started mid-season next year, but that's just my opinion. And I think they should be able to get it done in 3 months, I think they're saying.
And the new sprinkler system's still going to be city water?
Yeah. to the best of my knowledge.
Yeah, Gary when you weren't here with your child, he did say that in the June meeting that he hopes that they will start to get everything kind of lined up later in this year. So that's where, like I said, he's had people out. They're almost ready to sign off on the new design. So I think I recall him saying it would probably be maybe this time next year
Hopefully,
before we would even see a start
yeah.
because of the pipeline, as you said.
But you never know, we could get lucky and
True,
a contractor could come out of the blue and say, I can get started tomorrow.
right. Yeah, getting all our ducks in a row helps them. Any other comments? Cliff? Parks?
Well, since last meeting, we've, like he said, been working on a lot of equipment, a lot of breakdowns. The interns have almost finished staining Miami's fort, then we're gonna do the playground mulch. They actually painted all the picnic tables I'm gonna take downtown for the circus. They did that today for me. Electrical is finished at the concession stand. We had them install some lights on the amphitheater for 4th of July on that one end to light up the grassy area.
It looks wonderful down there. It really does.
Got the amphitheater parking lot paved. Heidi is no longer with us. Matt Scott is her replacement. We had 4 trees and a bunch of limbs down from that storm yesterday. We are getting some community service workers that we've had do some weed eating and been working on the mayor's list.
Yes, now, you saw the pictures the mayor sent of his latest things in Maconaquah, I think it was?
Yep.
I did have Matthew print 2 sets of his notes, and of course, I've left them in the car. But you do have the pictures that he wanted the work done. So could you run through any of the things that you've taken care of?
I don't have the list with me right
You don't have the list either?
No, I forgot it too.
Shame on both of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But some of that stuff we've already went through and is done, but we'll work on it throughout the summer.
There were just a lot of little things that I don't think you would even notice about taking down unused poles and
Right.
odds and ends, and but it's things that does enhance the look of the park
Right.
overall. So you're working through the. Do you know how many? If you are close to finishing his list?
No.
No, I know for a fact all the signs are clean, because I did that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We probably will not finish it this year. Just because of labor. But we'll get a lot of it done.
So will some of it be kind of winter work?
Potentially. Depends on if we get through all the equipment, we have time.
Right, right.
This year we did not. Then, stuff for the remainder of the season, continue working on equipment. At some point, they're gonna work on that Rotary Park and needs assistance. We've got some dead trees we'll get to. And then we gotta do the plumbing in the concession stand, which is just basically just plumbing up a sink, which won't take long, and then put some cabinets in there, and that's all done.
How much more stuff does the Rotary Park need?
They haven't done anything,
They haven't done anything.
nothing's done,
There's a sign that says Rotary Park, but that's it.
yeah.
Well,
And
yeah, I
we
mean,
put-
I've seen
we
the
put a
sign for
gravel
years,
pad up
but-
there for where the instruments are gonna be.
Right.
I've seen DNR over there moving dirt around for the boat ramp. What's
Yep.
going on with that? Are they waiting on the river to like go down a bunch so they can pour the concrete, or?
That's what he said when they did the dirt work in the spring. And I think they were just hauling off that excess dirt right now. I'm not sure if they're gonna do the concrete right now or not.
Do you have a use for the dirt?
Not really. I mean, we've got some, a little bit of extra dirt up there at Gary's if we need a little scoop of it or something.
Hmm.
We typically don't have any issues like that.
Take as much as you'd like.
Any other questions for Cliff? old business. I have no old business. New business. Games in the Park. Janet Bradley and the Word of Mouth Group. Is someone here? No. She had sent me an email saying that this group, Word of Mouth, would like to arrange a games day in the park. And they wanted to know if they could reserve the pickleball, the volleyball, the basketball, the field kind of in between the pickleball and all that, and the Riverwalk to hold some sort of event. And I sent her back saying that I thought this was interesting, and I suggested that, I told her I would put her on the agenda for this evening, and please come and discuss any future dates that you thought this might take place, and also to contact Matthew to find out if there would be a charge, because she didn't say if they were a charity, a 501c(b) or something, 503c(b) or something.
If they're not for.
There we go, one of those. I didn't know, and if it was, she said that the monies raised would go to some sort of charity.
Is it
And,
just one day?
well, it wasn't clear, so that was why I suggested that they come this evening. Well, they're not here, so I have no more information on that. If I have any, we'll certainly bring it up. But I can't imagine you want to do that in a very hot summer day, but I don't know. And I hadn't received any other email from her regarding the one I sent her. So, moving on. Pickleball etiquette. Barb, you're up. Barb had contacted me because she felt there needed to be some rules in the pickleball court.
I hope you don't mind, I have some more things maybe you guys need to talk about, maybe.
And I asked her to come to the meeting with some thoughts on,
Who does that area, park, you the park, that area? Before I start, let me say something real quick, if you don't mind. Of course, my pickleball tournament was another success. I mean, I'm talking to you guys, people come from families, Michigan, a husband and wife, was a state representative in Michigan. They traveled to Peru here last year on the way from Florida, and the only reason why I stopped in Peru was because of those pickleball courts. They did not know any of us people here in Peru. And they liked us so much, they came back again this year, traveling back through Florida, going back home to Michigan. And I told them about my pickleball tournament, and Mike and Mary came to my pickleball tournament back for that in June. And I had another lady come from Michigan. So we had people from Indianapolis, Michigan, Warsaw, Kokomo, Marion, all over the place. And I want to make sure you guys definitely give Cliff and he asked me to send me an email, which I did on things I wanted, and you did that. But I also want to give Chris, is that his name, right?
Mm-hmm.
That guy was exceptionally wonderful to me. You see me playing pickleball every morning because I'm addicted. And so every morning I'd come there, he'd come and talk to me, what do you need, Barb, blah, blah, blah. He was fantastic.
Good.
Fantastic. And I appreciate you too, because you did tell me to send you an email, and he just said you related that email to him. You guys had the restrooms were clean, we had tons of toilet paper. Last year I had 48 players, this year I had 112 players.
oh heavens,
Yes, that doubled. And matter of fact, I had to ask the YMCA to open it up for us, and they let us use that day too because I had so many players. So my husband and I got to about 6:45. We did not leave till about 7:45 at nighttime because it just went on all day long. And I can just see this growing and growing because people just, they're just loving it. And I haven't got all my money in yet because I also went around and got gifts from different people in the community that donate gifts and donate. But I say it's going to be over $10,000 again that we brought in this year for the Alzheimer's. So I think that's really
Wonderful.
awesome. I did talk to you yesterday about,
Barb, can you stay at the podium?
do I have to?
Yes.
Okay, I will do that for you. I did talk to you about some rules, because when we was at Warsaw last week, my husband and I was at the, up at a lake, and I played in Warsaw, and they had some rules up with theirs too, the pickleball courts, but they had too many. I mean, they had so many, like, I didn't even read them. And so I talked to a couple of my friends who play pickleball. I give you guys some ideas. I kept it simple. You can add to it, take away whatever you want, but there was just, you can see the first 4, if you guys want to add anything else to it, but those are some rules. Because we had people there, we was playing one morning, we had quite a few people waiting, and all of us who play, we usually play a bunch of us every day. We know who we are, and we take turns, but this one couple was out there playing, and they did not want to take turns with the court. They just wanted to keep the court, and we talked to them, tried to talk to them nicely, you know, we take turns, come on out, and you got a paddle. I don't know whoever put that paddle thing up there. Do you ever know who did that? Someone put a paddle thing up there, a holder for us, so I asked them if they would take turns with us, and they wouldn't do it. So, in every place I go play pickleball, they usually do have rules up. But I did try to keep it simple because, like I said, if you put too many rules up there, people's not going to read it. And because I know, like I said, at Warsaw, I didn't even read it because it's just too much, you know. But those are some right there. And I don't know if you guys want to add that to it, that you're not responsible. Do you know that? I mean, you don't have anything up there like that right now, that you're not responsible for anybody to get hurt. I don't know if you want that added on there.
That probably wouldn't be a bad idea.
Play at your own risk. I mean, it's just a thought. I don't know if I played tennis for 30 years. I have never seen anything like that, but you guys aren't, that's just something you might want to think about. Do you have liability insurance for that place?
I think all the
I'm sure
parks
they
do.
do.
All of them do?
Pretty sure all the parks do.
Okay. It's just a thought if you want to add that to it, but those right there are some ideas right there, which, you know, the first four, like I said, you guys add to it, take it away, whatever you want. And then also, what I wanted to bring up, I had a call it was last week from my friend from Wabash, she's a pickleball player also. Her son was coming to play pickleball in Peru. And this happened about a couple months ago. I had also a gentleman was coming, trying to look for Peru. They try to find our courts. They pull it up, but it shows the address of 75 Park Drive. So people are getting confused, and they're going to Mechanical Park.
That's my shop.
Uh-huh. And this gentleman who played, I was just maybe this Monday. He's in college, and his mother called me and said, Barb, he can't find the pickleball courts. Can you give me the address to get him to the pickleball courts? So I picked the funeral home that was closest address and just said, go to this address, and he'll see it right there. But if you pull it up and Google it, and you'll see the picture of our pickleball courts. I say our pickleball courts. Anyway, you'll see pickleball courts, but you'll see your address. And they take them right to Mechanical. So how can we change that? Can you guys get an address to that pickleball courts?
Well, that section right there there's no addresses at all right there. That's why his address comes up, because he's the park guy.
Yes.
We could probably try.
Would it show up on the map?
Like a Google, yeah, but it won't show an address because there's no address for
No,
there.
but
It
what
would
I'm
show
thinking is
cliffs.
that it would show it on the Riverwalk map.
Well, it does show the picture. When you Google it, it'll show the picture of the pickleball courts. It'll show a picture of what they look like and everything, but it shows an address of the 75 Park Drive. And the guy in Kokomo told me he went there that day, and then Shockey, who called me about her son trying to find it on Monday. It was Monday, he's home from college. She said he went also to that address, and he says he don't know where to go. And so I got him right to the pickleball courts, but it is taking everybody to your place.
If you drop a pin on maps, it ends up being 300 West Canal Street.
Oh, see, I don't know, because I'm like them. I saw that address too, so I don't know. And this kid's in college, he's pretty smart, so I don't know. He didn't see it, and I didn't see it either. I don't know, whatever you think. You take a look at it. You think you're just going to have to keep it like that? Can you come? I know people in my pickleball tournament this year, too, asked me for an address for the pickleball courts.
I don't know how you change that.
Like,
Well, I'm wondering-
On Google, like,
Well,
I change our hours on Google. You can't actually do anything. You can recommend. And once you recommend something and nobody goes against what you recommended to Google, then it accepts like our hours open and stuff like that. I don't know if it's the same for that. If you go to Google and just recommend it, the address is wrong.
Well, I mean, technically, those aren't lots, so they're not gonna have addresses.
Right.
Technically, right?
Like Cliff said, he just basically, if you type in 300, whatever he just said into Google right now, it's gonna take us to the pickleball court.
Right.
It actually took me to the house across the street.
Which is close enough.
But if
Okay.
you- if
Well, I'm
you
wondering
talk
if-
to 911, you might be able to get an address assigned to it,
Yeah.
because
Talk
you
to Molly.
probably need something anyway for
Yes.
emergency service.
That's a good idea. That is a good idea, because there's a lot of senior citizens playing down there. That's a good idea.
You have something to say?
Would it be possible, so we have all these signs with arrows that say this is this way and this is this way? One on Main Street for sure of where to turn,
Well, there is one that says the Riverwalk.
Yes.
but it doesn't say pickleball court.
No, it doesn't,
And-
but it doesn't say
Skate park.
any of the activities down there. So I'm wondering if it would, another option might be to have it on the city website under Riverwalk Park, what the activities are that are available there.
But you're like this the guy from Kokomo told me, he travels to different places, he lives in Plymouth, he told me that he was traveling through, so he looks for where people have pickleball courts. So they're not looking, they're pulling up just pickleball courts, like the gentleman did on Monday. And so, like I said, it just takes him to like his address, so I don't know, I'm like you, I think it's a smart idea to have a 911 address in case we do have a lot of senior citizens. We got an 85-year-old guy out there that plays. A few times I'm really worried about him because it looks like he's gonna fall. So I do think it would be smart to have an address there to, of course, I know our local people, like the firemen, play there all the time, but, you know, it is smart, just an idea.
Is there an address for the playground down there? What if there was an emergency there?
I don't think they're, well, let me look on Google
I
Maps.
think they would
Because
just
how did they
call
get-
it the fort.
The fort, yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
Miami's.
There is for
We have a lot of EMTs that work, that come to Miami County to work though, that don't know the community.
No idea.
So
or
you
anything.
get with 911 and gonna sign addresses and then put signage up, it might be a good thing.
They should do that for everything down there, skate
Yeah,
park,
that's what I'm saying.
playground, yeah, all along there, because like you said, if there's an emergency,
Yeah.
some people don't know.
I
where
mean,
to skate park.
does the amphitheater have an address?
Let me see on Google Maps what it shows.
Why court shoes? Are they playing in bare feet?
I'm sorry?
Why court shoes? Are they playing in bare feet?
But yes, there was someone out there the other day playing their feet, yes, and you don't want to, and the one I saw, I was reading some up there at Warsaw, and I took pictures of other people had rules, someone said no cleats. So yeah, you'd be surprised what people do out in the, yes.
What's your address up there at the clubhouse?
1863?
That's what they got for the
They
amphitheater.
got,
Perfect.
they
No
got-
wonder everybody always calls me.
Davis Park has an address,
Was it a lot at one point?
206, State Road.
They have a mailbox.
oh,
Doesn't that park still have a mailbox outside?
Wow.
I've seen.
Cliff, is this
I think it
something
does.
you
I
could
think it does.
Yours is straw town.
investigate with Matthew?
We have one on
If we can have some general designations for places?
But we really need it for people who Google, because like this
Right.
young boy from his college, he's not gonna look through Peru stuff and, you know, our mayor stuff and all the city
But
stuff.
we
I'll
would have
see-
to assign
I'll go up and I'll talk to
an
Matt on Monday and see if he can't do some digging and see exactly how that works.
address. Okay,
I believe
We
it
could do
was
that.
the 911 system. that
Yeah,
signed all
it
the
has
addresses
to
in
go
the county.
through,
We used to have like 400 houses who all had the address for Rural Route 1,
yeah.
Another
It
400
has to
houses
go
were all
through
around you.
911.
and when we
You would
got
think,
911,
but,
they assigned them all individual
uh,
numbers.
Like I said, I don't believe that those are individual lots, so I don't believe that they ever had
No,
individual
but
addresses.
they could do, the Miami Sport.
Well, I mean, if one side of the street's even and the other side of the street's odd, I don't see why they couldn't just use those numbers. Like I
Yeah.
said, I'll go up there on
Yeah.
Monday and I'll talk to Matt and see if he can't do some digging and see how we would go about doing
so
it.
we've had a question regarding how to let someone know
Yeah.
where the facilities on the Riverwalk parks are.
'Cause we get people all the time from all, I'm gonna tell you guys are not gonna believe how many people come from different communities just for our pickleball courts. And I will say, everybody's told me too, Kokomo, when I do the tournaments that came here first time, they said we got one of the utmost great pickleball courts there. Jim Tidd did a great job. I'm gonna tell you, they're beautiful. But I do wanna say something real quick that I don't have on here, that, and I noticed this in Warsaw too, and I think I might talk to you about taking the nets down maybe in the winter already, because they weren't taken down, they were too tight, and it's not your fault, because you didn't know. The cement around the poles are kind of like, now I got a circle, they're like, you know what I mean, like, you can tell, what do I wanna say? Like it's kind of pulling up, and now so you got a crack, that's what I said, crack around it.
So it's a
Of
maintenance
the poles,
issue?
of all the poles, because what it was, they were so tight during the winter time,
You said it was all of them, that might have got poured individually at a different time, right?
and all of them
When
are
they
like
poured-
that.
When they poured the whatever, the court itself, and then they went in and they set the poles and poured the concrete for the poles. So that's probably what you're talking about.
Yeah, just where the poles were in, and I know some Warsaw was like that too, and Rick Bickle, who plays, he knows a lot of stuff, he told me what it was, that the nets were too tight in the wintertime, and so they should have either been loosed or taken down completely. But I think taking them down, you guys might not know how to put them back up. That's the only thing I didn't know, because those guys who did that were professional
Well, if you
people.
take them down in the wintertime, they wouldn't be there for you to play.
Well, I know in the
Okay.
wintertime, I'm talking about in the cold, like December, January, February, the
Well,
cold months.
We could loosen them up a little bit.
Yeah, and I have the cranks, because someone left the cranks there, so I do have them at my house, the cranks that went in the, because I didn't want anybody to steal them, because they easily come out. So I did take them to Rick, and he tightened them up, and we started playing in, I think we started playing, like you said, you can't play in February, because it was kind of warm, and we did this year, so yeah, it's possible you could do that, yes. So you do hate taking them down, because it's a possibility that, people might want to play.
Well, seems to me that, that might be something else for you to put on your yet and never-ending list,
Yeah.
just to check the tension of the, if we want to leave them up all the time, that you can,
Just loosen them up a little bit more.
right.
Well, like I said, I have those, and I think I told that to Jim Tidd that I had them, because they came out, I don't know if you saw, the little cranks were in each net, and they come out so easy, and we didn't want anybody steal them, the kids steal them.
Sure.
And I let Jim Tidd know that I took them home, so I have them.
Gotcha.
And if not, Rick, like I said, Rick plays all the time, we'd be more than happy just to let him do that for you every year, to loosen it up.
I'd be good with that.
Okay, I'll talk to Rick about that.
Well, what do you think about these suggestions for court etiquette?
I mean, there should be rules, but I don't know about the shoes part. I mean, what about somebody who's, can't afford court shoes, or maybe, kids who are just trying to try it out or something?
That's totally up to you guys. That's your call. I just, to be honest with you,
There probably should be rules and regulations to the court, definitely. I mean, there's rules for the skate park, there's rules for the regular parks,
yeah.
so.
That's totally up to you. We looked at some other rules at other places, that's where we got it from, you know what I'm saying? So that's totally up to you. We tried to keep it simple, because like I said, if you get too many rules up there, nobody's gonna read them anyway. And you wanna kind of make them big, because you got a lot of senior citizens down there looking at them, so you don't want small print, kind of, larger print, so people will read them.
Well, and with the, I talked to the mayor, I don't know, 2 months ago or so, because we were having people, use the walkway for like runs and stuff, and I asked him how the insurance would work with that, and he said that, citywide, all the parks, or anything that has to do with the parks, there's a regulation that if you get hurt, that it doesn't fall on the city.
Okay.
So-
So you might want to put it on, play at your own risk. I mean, that's just something to think about.
Right. Brandy, does this need to be run through the Board of Works or anything? As well as the police department? And the
I'd probably
attorney?
send it to Dustin.
Well, I have no feelings one way or the other about court shoes. I think they really need to wear shoes.
Oh, absolutely, but I mean,
Court shoes could be tennis shoes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's what they are. That's what they are, tennis
I
shoes.
mean, just,
We just put tennis shoes, because my shoes are pickleball shoes. I got tennis shoes and pickleball shoes, that's what they're called. But you're
Maybe
right,
we could just scratch the word court and just leave shoes.
whatever you guys think.
the only thing I thought about was language, which is, the pickleball players that I know of, all seem to be pretty stand-up people. And they control their mouths pretty well, but you may get a bunch in there that,
Well, and the thing is, you put these rules up there, and then who's gonna go regulate them?
That's what somebody said.
Yeah,
That's what somebody said exactly.
I mean.
They're
cops
gonna be
don't have
calling
time to-
they're gonna be calling dispatch.
I mean,
Yeah.
cops
That's gonna be a
don't have
problem.
Time
Yeah.
to go down there and be like, hey, you're not allowed to cuss.
I know, you just put them up and hope they do. If they don't, there's not, like you said exactly, there's not a thing you could do. You're just hoping that they,
well, I think you could solve that by at least changing rules to etiquette and just put etiquette
Whatever-
of court.
Yeah.
That's
So they're
fine too.
not rules
yeah.
Yes,
such.
Yeah.
yes, that's a great idea.
We
That's a
could
great
do
idea.
that.
Yep.
And then I don't think that Dustin would have any objections to any of that. They were just etiquette.
Yeah, but I'm sure there's some kind of legal schmeagle thing he'd have to go through before we would be able to do any
Right.
of that.
It's just something to think about.
Right.
When I called you, I told you, you know,
Yeah, oh no, that was why I said come with
Yes.
some suggestions.
There's just so many steps and all this.
I
you know what
understand.
mean?
Oh, I understand, totally.
It's all-
and everywhere I've been going, I've been seeing the rules. They have them up, like I said, Warsaw, I played this weekend. There's tons of people playing there. There's rules there too. They got them everywhere I've been going. They're putting them up. because
Well,
I'm on all these
will-
Facebook pages of pickleball,
Right.
and they're all saying they have to do it, because people aren't taking time, sharing, they're just going out there and staying 2 or 3 hours on a court, and there's people waiting, and, and they're not letting people, share it,
Right.
so.
Do you have to share like the basketball courts? Like if I go play a game of basketball, you gotta rotate?
Well, you hope you people would, but
I don't know.
I don't think that's a rule, but
Be a nice courtesy, but we don't do that with anything else, do we? I mean,
No.
if we don't
No.
tell anyone, there's a time limit on the picnic tables.
But again,
Or-
this is just etiquette.
yes.
Right,
We're not making it a rule.
I agree.
But I think that's a great idea, just do it like that, and hoping they do it.
Well,
They-
I will make sure that I talk with Matthew,
Okay,
get him a copy of this and ask him for input from the city and the lawyer, and hopefully we'll have some news on what their suggestions are.
and then I'm gonna talk to you real quick on that last one. I found out from someone that were granted money to Miami County Health Department, quite a bit of money too. And so I've already talked to them, I already got a paper to fill out, a form. I guess we got this grant money because Indiana's the 8th highest state of being obesity. So I think all the counties that they asked for this money, they got it, and we got it. I think it was like 400-some thousand. And I already talked to a lady at Morgan Townsend, I think her name is. And I want to let you guys know, one night, one of the ladies, they come from Logansport and play at our courts a lot, and they were there playing on Friday night. They said it was so awesome to see, and I got video they sent me. They had 30 kids lined up inside the fence, waiting to play pickleball, waiting to play, and 16 on the court playing, and she videoed it. And so, like my husband said, it's so neat to see these young kids out there off these phones and are out there wanting to play pickleball. So I talked to Morgan, and I think I mentioned Don too, Don Sturch. And I talked to Jim Titt about this, and we have land on the other side of the pickleball courts, and Jim said they were kind of looking at putting basketball courts there, but he says that, I guess, do they own the ones across the street there down on Canal Street too? You know where the
Yeah,
basketball?
that is
that's,
the,
that's
Is that-
part of that.
Okay, he said something that maybe they could use that and fix that up instead. And I asked if maybe we can get possibly 4 more pickleball courts there on the other side, and you guys might not think we need it, but we do need it. We do, I'm telling you guys.
Isn't that where the splash pad's going though?
Well, it's going on the other side.
no, that's the other side.
It's
It is- This is gonna, we're looking at maybe on the west side, between the volleyball and more pickleball, on the other side of the pickleball courts. And Don said we did have the land there, I take it, and Jim said he wouldn't, he's all for it too. And we might not get the grant money, but I would, fill out these forms. I hope Jim would help me and try to get some more pickleball courts. You might not think we need them, but we do.
I'll have to look into that because utilities is putting something through there. And I don't think we can put anything on top of it.
Oh, on the west side?
Yeah, but I don't know exactly where. I'll have to look at that
Okay.
email he sent me before. Because he sent me an email saying, hey, you have any planned future activities between the skate park and the pickleball? And I'm like, no, we shouldn't have anything in there, so.
I think that's where they're running the state-regulated new drains. All the new drains they're putting down Second and Canal.
Yeah,
I think that's where it's going through at.
gotcha.
Yeah, because
So you think they'll take it all?
aren't they?
You should negotiate for your water discount. For your golf course.
Well,
You don't know if they're taking all that land?
they're just gonna run a pipe through there.
Oh.
So I don't know if
Sure.
there'll be room on either side of it to put another pickleball court. I'll have to look at it.
Could you do, and even if we got 2 more courts, I mean, and you
Is
guys,
there anywhere, Cliff, is there anywhere else in the park system you could put extra courts? I mean, do we have any other
Trying to think
flat
where there's
land
room.
where we could put something?
Come put a couple at the Muni.
Well, I was wondering, is there land up there?
I'm
I can
just
get the
thinking if
Gatorade money.
there's not really any,
Beside the.
I mean, the only place
amphitheater.
that you've got room is the amphitheater, I think.
I mean,
It's
there's
like
a
a
decent
lo-
amount of room in between the basketball courts and the actual playground at Davis Park.
Yeah. That would work.
I know what you're saying, but I'll just give my opinion on this. It'd be good either way, like you're saying, but it better be, if we could, go by the ones we have, because people come to play, and they like that, where everybody can get there together. There's so many of us, and we all can play together instead of spreading out in different places,
But if it was just a case of this or nothing,
See, that's the issue we're having right now, is the north side has no parks.
right,
So
Oh, north, oh, you're,
the
okay.
north side of Peru has
Okay.
no parks at all.
You're talking about going out that way then?
No, but Davis Park's not really considered the north side, but it's right across the tracks, so.
Where's this at, I'm sorry?
Davis Park's on.
Oh, okay, right down there on Main Street.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Nice if you put some near some shade. There's no shade by the pickleball courts.
I mean, it's just a thought, but I didn't want to start filling out these papers. I guess you guys would have to prove it anyway, right? So.
Oh, yeah. I mean-
Yeah. So it's just, like I said, I just found out about this money. Someone just told me at
Well,
the
I think you
YMCA.
should keep us posted,
Okay,
and maybe Cliff can have a think about if there would be room somewhere, just as a thought. I mean, I'm not sure that we can delve too deeply if we have no money. You know, the park system, with gratitude on my behalf, has had a lot of money recently that has really helped and will continue to help the whole park system. We're fixing things, and I think we're catching up on a lot of maintenance and improving the park. I just don't know that we will continue to have excess amounts of monies to do other things till we catch on the things that we already have. But please keep us posted.
you guys are doing a great job, like I said. I mean, I was very pleased with Cliff and his Chris and all of them. I was pleased. I will say, I had people did complain to me about not, on one thing is not having a bathroom at my pickleball court. That's one thing. Are they looking at putting a bathroom there?
The splash pad will have extra bathrooms.
And so it'll be between the pickleball court and the, well, that's great. Yeah, that's definitely, we
There'll
need
be extra
that.
bathrooms.
That's neat. Okay. All right. Anybody have any other questions?
Anyone have any other questions?
Okay.
Like I said, I will make sure that this goes to City Hall one way or the other.
Okay.
And it may not be next month, it may be the month
It's okay.
after before we have
I
more
just,
information.
whatever you come up with, I think it'd be great. I mean, I'm just trying to help,
No,
cause no
I
friction
agree
down
that there should be, people need to be willing to share.
Mhm.
You know, the park system is for everyone, not for just one person.
And you know what? Peru should be very happy they got them courts. Like I said, it's brought so many people to this town because of those courts. So we should be very grateful. And I'm very grateful because they're wonderful courts. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you.
All
With
right.
that being said, I would like to, I think the disc golf in the park gets overlooked a lot, and the amount of people that really come to Peru for the disc golf. I
Well,
think
Gary
it's
was
time
telling
that-
me that the last tournament was
Mac
like
Park-
$4,500
Mac Park course is
raised?
One of the best courses in the state.
I mean, it was like number 7 or 8
Right.
worldwide. I mean, it has so much history. I would love to see even if it was tiny amounts of money put back into that. I mean, we made a handshake agreement with some guys out there that said that they would maintenance that. Well, all them guys are senior citizens now. They're not in a position to maintenance that park anymore. I would like to see something, just a little bit of
Those were the
improvement.
Ace Race guys, yeah, they were really cool. They actually went back there and like took the trash and all that stuff.
Well, maybe when you're not spending all your time fixing leaks, there'll be more time to do other things.
Right, but I think the city still looks at it like that agreement's in place. And I think that's something that needs to be addressed. Those guys that made that agreement, half of them are dead, half of them are in nursing homes. So it's time, I think, for the city to take that back and take the maintenance back,
Well, I think.
in my
we need
opinion,
to
personal.
discuss that with the city.
Well, it would start here though, with the parks.
Right, true.
So I'm putting that on your plate, Allison.
Oh, thank you very much. Any other comments?
The cornhole, I have seen a lot of people playing that.
Good.
Me and my kids actually go down there and play it as well. It's a real nice addition to the park.
Good.
It's a little slicker than I'd like, but what can you do? It's concrete.
You can
so,
slow it down.
Yeah.
Put-
They're really nice though. They are.
One thing I did think, I know you and I had discussed putting the check grid onto some of the park benches. Did they do that when they repainted them?
No, these were all the extra benches up at Animal.
Oh, okay.
These aren't benches that are in the park. I've got a whole bunch of extra ones up at Animal.
No, I don't mean benches, I mean tables.
Yep.
Is that still something you're going to consider doing?
Yeah, if we get time.
Right, make a note.
The horseshoe pits look good. Somebody got to those.
Yeah, Chris got those
They
the other
look
day.
good.
Well, Cliff did say that if he has any monies left over this year, he was hoping to buy another set for cornhole.
It would be a nice addition over at Mac Park too.
Well, I think there are places you could certainly put things like that for people to do who are not generally too athletic.
How much were those?
That was, ooh,
I think around like $1,500, give or take.
yeah, to get it shipped.
Not awful.
Well,
No, and they're solid. They're
Well-
thick and they're solid.
They have ping pong tables made out of the same material. That would be great for parks as well.
well, I think all these ideas are things that you see. I mean, I saw those at Sweetser,
Yep.
I think, when I
I
went
mean,
down
even if
there.
you're not athletic, cornhole, hillbilly golf, all that stuff, it's something that you could get out and do and not have to be super athletic to do it.
Yeah.
I think the checkers and chessboard is a good idea, but I think they should be on metal tables, not wooden ones.
Well,
They
if
don't
he's,
have to redo them every year.
well, yeah, but it was just a simple thing of paint. It's not huge. If he makes a single grid, he only needs one can of paint.
Yeah, but then getting it just right and making it look good,
Would you rather have some than none?
I mean, if they were metal, like,
That's what it always comes down to. How do you use the money that we have to cover so many things?
I get that, but you want it to look good too.
Oh, yeah, I agree. I just.
Not
this was
everybody's
just-
an artist. I couldn't go make all these little squares perfectly.
Oh, no, you
by
make a
hand. There's
grid.
no way.
You make a grid out of wood or something and you spray. And you end up with 6 across, 12, 6, 6. Pretty simple.
Make us one this weekend and send us a picture.
No, I'm going on vacation. I'm sorry.
And you got plenty of time.
Although I did take woodwork for 3 years. I did do woodwork lessons for 3 years. All right, next meeting is August 8th. I will be on vacation, so I hope you all will have a great meeting. I will try and make sure that all the things we've talked about go to the appropriate meeting. Anyone else have any other thing to say? No? We have completed our agenda. We are adjourned at 6:03.